Hello, and welcome to I Found Your Pencil. This is a podcast that's sublime. Well, I guess that's not exactly correct. This is a podcast that examines some of the moments from my life and some of the experiences I've had traveling in Japan and traveling at home, domestically. And my name is Whitney, and thank you for joining me for another excursion on one of my personal experiences and memories throughout my life. Today's story is about a moment that I had in the years leading up to coming to Japan. And I know that a lot of the stories I'm talking about recently are about Japan, and believe me, I don't think of myself as a Japanese blogger, or even as a foreign blogger in Japan. I think of myself as just an American that kind of came over here and experienced the culture, and I kind of live here now. But in the years that came up to that amounted to me preparing myself to come here, I kind of exposed myself to a lot of Japanese media. I exposed myself to a lot of films and to a lot of music. And I remember one band that I found on YouTube, and the name of the band is called Sakanakushon. And it's a combination of two words. The word sakana, which is the Japanese word for fish, and that na sound, that final A in na begins the A in action, sakana action. And those two, so it's like the images of a fish moving or flowing in water. And I've got to tell you, the moment I started listening to music from this band, I fell in love with them. It's a 5-man band, or it's 2 ladies and 3 guys. They're kind of pop, electronic rock, and their music and their melodies are just sublime. They are the kind of stuff that just, when you hear it, it takes you away, and it transports you to a totally different world. The lyrics just kind of move you along this journey. I've shown their music to a lot of my friends, that have no experience studying Japanese, and even they can kind of gather the feeling and the mood of a song. Even when it's spoken in Japanese, they can kind of feel the sadness in Ichiro's voice as he howls away in the lyrics. But today's moment from my life is basically a realization I had that when I was studying Japanese, when I was living in America, and I was living in Texas, and I was kind of going through these growing pains of getting used to a language, I heard this album by Sakanakushon called kikUUiki, and it's a blue album. I'll probably link it in the description, or I'll link it in the SoundCloud comments somewhere. And this album single-handedly reinvigorated all of my passion for studying Japanese. The sound and the music and the tempo and the vibe, the whole album is an adventure. It is an audio adventure. And there's moments that want to make you jump for joy, and there's moments that make you want to burst into tears because it just rips your heart out. And I knew that when I listened to that album back in America, I knew that was the album that I wanted to be listening to when the plane touched down in Narita airport. I knew that when I was in the air flying towards Japan, all the way from America, I knew that was the album, that those were the feelings that I wanted to have in my mind and in my heart as the plane touched down. And I remember as it did, I had, my iPod, I had my MP3 player, and I played that album. And as the lights and the sounds of Tokyo came into my eyes and flooded my eyes, I heard that music and I heard Ichiro's voice, and it kind of folded in on itself. It kind of like the world inside of my head met the reality outside of my head, and it was an experience that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. If you haven't listened to Sakanakushon's music, I can't encourage you to do so enough. Check it out in the comments and let me know what you think. So yeah, that's Sakanakushon and the album known as kikUUiki.